Do you want to create outstanding ads using VFX and 3D to your client? What about this one you're watching right now? So without further ado, let's see how you can create the same thing as I did. Let's get started. Alright guys, so here we are in Blender, and the first thing, I'm pretty sure you know what we need to do. We just need to go here and click in motion tracking. If you don't find this option here, you can go in this plus icon, and then in VFX you find motion tracking over here. And in this case guys, I am gonna leave one footage available for you to use and follow this tutorial along. So don't be afraid to use it. Both, I only will leave this available on my Patreon, so go ahead and just do it. The link is going to be available down in the description. So in this case, I'm going to click here in open YouTube 290. And here, if you select only one of this hundreds and hundreds of sequence, you just need to click in one and click in open clip. So now, as you can see, Blender understands that you want to import everything as only one footage. So here we go, we have the footage working properly, and now we just need to click here in set scene frames and then click in prefetch, right? So Blender just basically understands and reads your footage, and now we need to click here in detect future. And in detect futures, we need to be careful because this is the most important part of our visual effects. I'm pretty sure. Here, what you need to do, you just need to go to match, and in keyframe, you can select previous frame, and here in normalize, you can just check this option, and then you can go to track and click here or press Ctrl T. And as you can see, we already have some result. If I want to track backwards, I can press Shift Ctrl T. And as you can see, Blender already read a lot of information we want to work with. If I press space, I can see what's going on. And so we have a really good result actually. We just need to get rid of all of these trackers we are seeing here onto our 140 frames. I think here is pretty cool. So I can do it deleting manually. So I can select all of these graphs you are seeing here, and then I can select them and press X and then do it manually. I think manually is pretty cool because you can see what you are actually deleting. So let's do it. All right, let's see what's going on. Yeah, this is pretty cool, isn't it? I'm gonna select some of these trackers manually here, and I'm gonna press Shift just to keep them all selected, and I'm gonna delete them, right? So I'm gonna press X and delete track, so I can just, get rid of them all. So here, as you can see, it's pretty cool. We have a good animation, good trackers working properly here. So I'm going to just press space and delete a few more, just like so, and I'm going to press X. And now I think we have something pretty cool. Let me see. Yeah, it's more accurate, isn't it? Have you noticed it? Yeah, pretty cool, pretty nice. So what we need to do here, we just need to get back to layout, and then if I press O, I can't see anything just because I didn't select the move clip in my camera. So I just need to click here in camera, go to background image and check this option, click in add image, and in move clip you find your composition just here. And I can just, adjust this. In this case, I'm gonna click here in fit, and then I can change my camera proportions, just going here in output and then change this option 180. And here we go, we have our footage here. We can go back to motion tracking and select a few of these trackers and turn them into our floor. So I am gonna do it just by selecting this tree, and then in solve I will find this option in orientation floor here, so I can click here. But first thing first guys, before we transform our trackers into our floor, we need to solve camera motion, right? So if I want to do it, I just need to go to refine, click in focal length and select all of these options here, right? So you will find them all, and then as you can see, we can click in solve camera motion. So now here we go, we have these two options, which is pretty cool, and we need to click here in set as background and set up tracking scene. So basically, as you can see, Blender is already reading our footage, and the tracking is pretty well done. I think we will need just to, you know, change a little bit. And just to get started, I'm gonna just delete this plane here. And I am going to select 3 trackers and transform them into my floor. So I'm gonna select this one and this, and I'm gonna click here in floor. It's pretty accurate right now. You see? So let me get back here. Yeah, it's pretty interesting because in this case, we are not going to, you know, look really carefully to this part here, this floor, because we have a lot of different techniques to do it. But in this case, we want to use our sky as the most important part of our VFX. So that's it. I'm gonna just, you know, delete this one, and I'm gonna use one mesh from Sketchfab, which is available on this page here. I'm gonna leave the link available down in the description. So I already copied my airplane. If I press Command V here, my airplane is already on my scene. So if I press O, scale this down a little bit, and I'm gonna just move this just like so. I think it's pretty cool. If I just press play, I can see how well tracked was my footage, right? So as you can see, it's working properly. If I press Z and go to rendered view, I can see how the lights are interacting with my footage. If I just select my camera, because it's my footage not appearing here, so I just need to go to render, and then in film, I can click here in transparent. And so after clicking transparent, I can click in my camera here and then select this option, render unstarted. Don't forget to select this because a lot of times you can have this already selected into our scenes, and you can just put this value in 1000, right? So as you can see, we have this result in our rendered view, right? So of course, we need to work a lot with this airplane just to make the color more realistic and the lighting as well. So we just need to start playing around with it. I'm gonna just select all of this and turn this plane into one mesh. So I'm gonna press Ctrl J, and it's pretty cool. So I am going to, you know, just animate this. And again, guys, invest your time because this is your project, right? I think I got a really good result here. Just let's check this out again. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I just want to see this private jet passing a little bit smoother or slower than that, because I think it's pretty fast right now. Let me see. All right, I liked that. You know, I just, you know, need to understand how this can be, you know, how much this can be really realistic. So as you can see at the end, if you were in this position here, you should have seen something like that, you know. At the end of the animation, the airplane is just passing through the camera a little bit slower, so this is pretty nice. And here I could, you know, change the color of my airplane. So I want to do that. I'm gonna just adjust a little bit these nodes here. So let's work with it. So in this case, guys, I created a lot of balloons around my animation. In this case, we want to look at it like so much, but it's the same process. If you want to animate, you just need to import your mesh into your footage, and then Blender will understand that that information belongs to the CGI you're already working, so they are going to be tracked very well. All right, so here I can just adjust a little bit. Let me see. I am gonna keep this airplane black. The most important thing here to make it realistic is to work with our world properties, right? So I'm going to select this option here in color, and then I'm gonna select one environment texture, right? I'm gonna click here in open. I already downloaded a few of HDR Image to test in this tutorial, so if you want, I'm gonna leave this available down in the description. So I selected this HDR here, which I think is pretty cool for this animation. And if I just turn back here, let me see, click in timeline. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I just think this airplane will just like so, and add more, you know. realistic stuff here. Let me see. Yeah, this is pretty cool, guys. I mean, the animation will end in around 210 frames. All right, so we have a lot of techniques to really, create some shadow. If I want to create another star here, so I can just model it and transform it into one holdout material. But in this case, we won't do it, right? We can just leave this to the next tutorial. But the most important thing here, it will be our airplane. So the animation here is pretty realistic and I love it. In the last video, I basically add one logo here in this part of my airplane, all right, using Photoshop. In this case, as we are not having any clients here, we want to keep this just like so. We are going to work with world properties and compositing a lot in this tutorial, just because I think this is going to be really important for us. So alright guys, I can test this in cycles to see if my lighting is working better, and as you can see, it's working really nicely. So alright guys, so one thing I'm gonna do, just because of this tutorial, I am gonna render this shot with Eevee to be faster, and then the next step, basically we just need to create some ray topology in After Effects, right? Basically we need to create some masks just to overlap my airplane, because in this case it's quite strange if I keep my airplane just overlapping my star here. So we need to mask this, and we are going to do it using After Effects. If you want to change something here in compositing, you can do it. First thing first, you just need to select all of these three nodes and press X to delete them. And then here I'm gonna plug this into image, and this one I'm gonna delete. So it's pretty cool, pretty organized. And if you want, you can play around and add hue, saturation, glare, or stuff. In this case, I want to work only with my airplane, so we are going to finish this render in After Effects. Alright guys, here we are in After Effects. Don't be afraid if this is your first time using this software, and I just wanna aware you of a few things, right? The first thing, you need to render your video without the CGI composition. I have them here in only one composition, so as you can see, they have the same proportions. So if I just press space here, and then if I turn on this option, as you can see, I have the same position and they are working properly, right? So now we are ready to use Mocha AE. So what can I do to really get started? I just need to click with the right button and then click here in Effect, right? And then I just need to find bars FX Mocha and Mocha AE, and then just click here in Mocha. So now Mocha is starting. I don't know if you already used this software, but it's pretty simple. If you already used Photoshop sometime, it's like the pen tool is exactly the same thing. So you will be doing this on your video. So it's pretty simple. To select this tool, you just need to click here or press Ctrl L. It's pretty cool. And in this case, I already know that my airplane needs to be to this, and I know that I need to create the mask until this point over here. So I am gonna start creating, and I am gonna just speed this video up just a little bit, right? Alright guys, so as you can see, I already created a few track points. So if I just press Ctrl and my arrow moving forward, I can go to around the frame 15, and then I can just adjust this part over here. As you can see, I can just rotate it a little bit. Just click here and again, invest your time. It's pretty cool. Let me see. In this part here at the bottom, we don't need something really crazy here. We don't need to go too crazy, so we can keep this track points over here, and then we just need to do it until 3 seconds. One thing I truly believe that it's really important to mention here, a lot of process to mask something on your video is going to be like that, right? So you have a lot of different studios all over the world, and if you want just to, you know, apply to one position, which you are going to be the rotopology guy, you are going to do it. So, you know, you just need to be patient here and to understand the process of your job, because in this case, if you are doing it, if you're using Mocha to really create some good and interesting shapes and videos, you need to do it. So if you are doing it, basically you are creating one visual effects shot, so make sure that you are doing it correctly and be accurate, right? Be patient and understand the process of your job. So we are done. What do I need to do? I need to press Ctrl S to save it. So I can close this tab here. If I go back to my scene, I have the Mocha here. So as you can see, it's not working yet because we didn't apply the mate here. So if we click here in apply mate, we can check this option. So now, if I just turn back here, press space, as you can see, it's working properly and it's really nice. Let's see again. Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Guys, in this case, my video has only 9 seconds. So if I had more time here to work with it, I probably would do it, right? Because actually, we don't want to, I mean, we don't need to apply shadow here in this star, just because the airplane, basically the animation and the footage ends over here. So if the airplane, you know, just finished its movement and position way further, I could do it. So here we don't need to do it, just because the animation is quite shorter, right? So as you can see, it's pretty cool. And the next thing is to apply something which can make this render more realistic. So to do that, we can just select them all, and I'm gonna press with the right button, and I'm gonna find this option, pre-compose, and I can write here VFX Dawn. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna go to effects and then search for lumetri color, right? So I'm gonna do one thing before. I'm gonna click with the right button and new, and I'm gonna find the adjustment layer, so I can bring lumetri color into this layer here. So yeah, guys, here we are. I am going to just play around a little bit. I'm gonna just, you know, make it more realistic. I think the lights are pretty cool, and yeah, I mean, the basic idea I think you already got. So I'm gonna just adjust some stuff here, going to base color. I can just adjust the temperature a little bit. I'm gonna bring this to -3. I think it's pretty cool. The exposure, I'm gonna bring this down to 0.2. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's pretty nice. Just let me see what can we do here. If I just increase the contrast value, I'm gonna just bring this down. Right, it's just something like so. In curves, I'm gonna create 4 points here, and I am going to make it wider and decrease this value. Here I'm gonna add some shaded film. Let me see, in creatives I can find here faded film. I said shaded film, it's faded film, right? So if I go back, let me see. Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? So guys, at this point, you can play around because this is your animation. You can add SFX and really make it, you know, stand out between a lot of different 3D animation on social media or stuff. So, yeah. Alright guys, so here we go. We already have our animation. So if you want to play around and really spend time on it, you can do it. Just, you know, applying sound effects and stuff. Feel free to do it and go ahead. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, of course. Alright, did you learn something new? I hope so. And don't forget to subscribe on this channel because this means a lot to me. And I want to see you here in the next video. Bye!